Coach Henson joining us now in studio to put a wrap on what has been a bizarre and emotional end to the 2020 season, with conference tournaments being quickly canceled, as well as the NCAA postseason tournament. First time in the tournament's history anything like this has ever happened. It's hard to wrap our heads around it, but thankfully we have you in here to help us shine some light on what it has been like for you and your team this last week. When you first initially found out the news that the conference tournament and March Madness had been canceled, what was your first reaction?
It was pretty shocking. I mean, things started happening, and the rate that they happened was amazing. You know, first they were talking about not allowing fans at conference tournaments, and then they started canceling tournament after tournament. Just snowballed, you know, and all the while you're wondering what's going to go on with school. You know, we were on spring break last week when we were in Frisco. They quickly extended spring break an extra week. Then they announced all our classes are going to be online. As soon as the conference tournament started getting canceled, you had the next question of what's going to happen with the NCAA tournament. You know, several conferences had already completed their postseason tournaments, so you had at least 9 automatic qualifiers already sitting there waiting for Selection Sunday. Where were they going to get their chance? So it was just amazing how quickly it happened. As we were talking, you know, then the NBA situation happened. You knew that was going to trigger some things, and each league had to make their own decision on what to do with their conference tournament, and they just quickly started canceling all those. I think one tournament actually pulled players off the court at halftime of a game. So amazing, something obviously we've never been through before.
Thursday was when the majority of the news broke about the tournament as well as the conference tournaments, the following day after UTSA had fallen in the first round to UAB. But still, when you had to approach your team and tell them the news of what was going on, how difficult was it for you to have that conversation with them?
Yeah, it was difficult for sure. You know, our situation, unfortunately, we had been eliminated. Had we still been playing, I think it would have been even harder. You know, a lot of those teams had to sit down and they were getting ready to play that night, you know, competing for what they've worked for all year. You know, you take North Texas, they battled like crazy, won the regular season title, and now they're fighting for that opportunity to represent our league. All the other teams that were still alive in our league, it's a tough situation. And then, of course, you look to, so our season was over, but you look to all the sports that are just starting, the spring sports. You know, what's going to happen with them? They don't get the opportunity to not only compete for the postseason, but they don't even get the chance to compete for the majority of the season this spring. So a lot of student athletes impacted, the whole world impacted. So we try not to get too selfish in our little niche there, because this is a big deal.
You alluded to it, the NCAA canceling all spring championships. As someone that's continuously on that campus, what is the mood of UTSA athletics right now that also most likely is similar to the moods across the country of sports programs everywhere?
Yeah, those conversations that the head coaches had to have with their student athletes that were still competing or just starting their season was incredibly difficult. I heard from some of our other head coaches that had to go in there and talk to their teams. Your season's over, you know, and for the seniors, don't get the chance to compete that senior year. Now, the NCAA has come in and said in some of those sports that they're going to get an extra year, which is terrific. But there's a lot of hurdles yet to come, and a lot of situations they're going to have to work through. But yeah, it's a tough deal. Especially the seniors, you know, they prepared for this, and obviously everyone has high expectations going into it, and it's just wiped away.
Wiped away, and just an unprecedented era for sports right now, as well as the rest of the country.
Yes.
But in your coaching career, having gone through something like this, what lesson can you take away from this season?
Well, you tell your guys constantly, don't waste a day, guys. Don't wait. It's going to go fast. Even if this hadn't happened, it goes fast. You know, you show up as a freshman, it seems like you just wake up and then it's over. We were constantly telling our guys, take advantage of every day. We talk about when we're doing ball handling drills. We got 5 minutes on the clock, guys. Take advantage of these 5 minutes. Take advantage of every opportunity to practice. And this, you know, something like this happens and it just comes in and just smacks you in the face, and it can be taken away that quickly. So it's a tough situation.
On a similarly related note, a member of the UTSA family passed away this weekend. Justin Nestor, he was a huge fan of UTSA athletics, had been going for over 20 years. Yeah. I know you were close with him and a lot of members of the Road Runner family as well. How did he have an impact on UTSA athletics?
Yeah, Justin Nestor had been coming to games for a long time, was just a huge, huge fan, sat right on the front row across from the opposing coach. We'd see him every single game, and he'd look forward to those games and the high fives and hanging out with our players. His health started failing, recently, and in the fall he was really struggling with some health issues. And during homecoming week, we had a bunch of former players back in town, and he was so looking forward to that. And when I saw all of our former players interact with him and him interact with them, you could see the love and the passion that he had for those players. It meant a great deal to him to be around them. That lifted his spirits and helped him through a tough stretch with his health at that point in the fall. And then the recent weeks, his health continued to deteriorate, and they had to move from the front row over to behind our bench so he could sit in his wheelchair. And they said that it was extremely important to him to get to that last home game, senior night, and they did. And I know it meant a lot to him to be there. His dad would thank us, thank our players for simple gestures, and that we're impacting Justin and inspiring him. But in reality, Justin had a big impact on our guys, and we're grateful that we got to spend time with him that way. There weren't any bigger fans than Justin, and we're blessed to having known him and get to spend some time with him. So to the Nestor family, we're thinking about you, Justin. God bless you. Rest in peace.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.